So the one thing that I didn't expect, that I should have expected when I left my ends loose, was I was going to be lazy and was not going to really want to do my ends every single night. So I decided to do a testing of, okay, if I don't moisturize my hair ends every night, what would that look like for me if I re-moisturize once a week, let's just say on the weekends. So that's what I did. And what ended up happening, which didn't happen immediately, but I noticed over, I'll say about a course of 2 weeks, I started to get really bad knots. I started to get really bad bunching. And then, as you can see in this picture, I had hair that started to actually detach itself at the bottom and then create this like really big bunch and leave this thin hair in the middle. All from me not moisturizing my ends every night. So I got locks because I was tired of trying to figure out what to do with my hair every single day when it was natural. And I got tired of wearing protective styles that I did not feel were protecting my hair. My hair was actually coming out very badly because I would keep them up for a very long time, because how you going to be protecting, but you only protecting for a week or two? That's not, I don't need you for that. So it just, after a certain amount of time, it's like, okay, I'm investing all this money into this weave and my hair is not giving, it's not looking healthy. I knew that the taking care of my ends were going to be work. I did not expect that taking care of my ends would be an everyday job. So do not leave your Microlocs ends loose if you are not going to take care of, and when I say take care of, I mean moisturize your ends every night. Now, does this moisture process take me 5, 10, 15 minutes? No, it takes 2 minutes to moisturize my ends. However, it does take consistency of doing it every night. Now, am I perfect and do I do it every single night? No, but I do it now after that experience at least 80 to 90% of the time. And if I don't feel like going through the entire moisture process that takes me like 3 minutes, I will just have like the spritzer and just spritz my hair with whatever clear conditioner spritzer that I'm using. My favorite is the Pattern Beauty Mist. The top on it is trash. I've had several of those. The tops on them are trash, but I switched over to something else and I noticed that my hair was way more dry and not as moisturized as when I was using the Pattern Beauty products. And I'm going to do a separate video for the products that I use when I do my hair, because someone asked me about build up, and I don't really use that much. And I can understand the thought of like, oh, if you put all that stuff in your head every day, won't it build up? I can't tell you what your experience is going to be, but for me, I've used what I was using when I was doing my natural hair that prevented buildup. Now, if you're using certain products that cause buildup when you combine them, then I think it's safe to say you're going to experience that. But if you're not, and you're using the things that you already knew worked for you that didn't cause buildup, you should be good. Like, I love melanin hair care. I use it as a conditioner. But melanin hair care is horrible with combining with other products from my experience. In my hair, it builds up. So I use it for a conditioner, but if you're going to combine it with someone else's products, for me, it builds up, it flakes real bad. So that's one of the products I've experienced doing that. But I can't find another conditioner like melanin hair care that strengthens and softens my hair like it does at the same time. So I still love buying it for that, but I don't use it to combine with other things to leave in my hair, if that makes sense. So I experienced that. I experienced a lot of shrinkage. That was a second thing that I did not expect as much. I knew shrinkage was going to happen. What I didn't understand was part of the reason some of us get our locks, I know for me, doing the top of my hair was always a mission and always clumped up and matted up together. And so it was always hard. And I didn't straighten my hair a lot at all, maybe once a year, if that. But it was still hard when doing twist outs, braid outs, stuff like that, to get my hair at the roots to be able to brush or comb it down, to get it to stay where it was before I left the house, 5 minutes after I left the house. And so the thought of doing the locks and then it's being the same way it was when I left the house really was like, I would love that. And I have that for 80% of my hair. That's locked. But for the other 20%, it shrinks right back up like it did before I got the locks, in the same way it did with my other hair, with my natural hair loose. So what I did not expect was the amount of shrinkage that causes a lot of tangling if you don't prep your hair at night and not sleep on it without separating it. So there's been a couple of times that I tried to wear my hair, just put it in a bonnet, and go to bed like, a lot of lock girls do. It's like, I don't feel like doing 4 bands tonight. Let me just put a bonnet on it. When I tell you, I woke up with so many like tangles that I had to try to pull out, so many knots, and I didn't really notice it as much the first night. I noticed it a little bit. I was like, it's a little dry. But by night 2 or 3, because I just wanted to see what it would look like for my hair was like really knotted up. I barely could get my hands through it without just snagging horribly and pulling out my hair. And this is something to think about with curly ends. This is not your roots. These are your ends. So once that end is gone, that end is gone. There's no your hair doesn't start growing from the ends. So you really have to take care of the hair that's there, because once it's gone, it's gone. Of course, your hair can grow longer, but if whatever's curly out, that's just it. And it caused a very, very dry, brittle feel of my hair. I will say, when I went to my loctician the last time and kind of told her, I was like, hey, this is what's happening. She was like, I told you your ends are going to want to lock. So if you're going to do this way, you're really going to have to, take care of them. And you're not going to have to do that much, but you are going to have to be consistent. And for people like me who, I just never got an A in consistency, it's a new journey for me, but it's worth it. I can't say with all honesty that I'm going to leave my ends like this for the rest of my life, and that if my ends try to lock up, I'm just going to be trying to prevent them for the next 15 years. I'm going to be honest, I can't say that. I feel like once my hair gets to a certain length, I may just cut it off. I may not care. Who knows? But I just don't know if I'm going to want to keep it up. I'm probably at that point would have enjoyed the curly ends to the point that I'll be fine if the rest of the ends lock at a certain point. But I just wanted to give you the things that I didn't expect on my lock journey. Like and subscribe.